children and women and children, etc., etc. Next, RH Bill, treatment of breast and reproductive tract cancers and other gynecological conditions and disorders. Again, who would argue against that? Siyempre nga naman, treatment of breast, reproductive tract cancers, and other gynecological conditions. So yung makakita ito, sabihin nila, pabor ako dyan. But then they don't tell us that in 9710, in Republic Act 9710, ito ang sinasabi doon. Prevention and management of reproductive tract cancers like breast and cervical cancers and other gynecological conditions and disorders. Verbatim, almost exactly the same. It's there already. Next. Ito palagay ko wala naman siguro interesado dito, no? House Bill number 4244, Prevention and Treatment of Infertility and Sexual Dysfunction. I don't see anyone who would be interested in this. Sasabihin ba, okay, maganda yan, pabor ako dyan. But they also don't tell us that in 9710, Republic Act 9710, nakalagay din dito, Prevention and Management of Infertility and Sexual Dysfunction. Exactly the same. It's there. Tapos, nakalagay din dito, family and state collaboration in youth sexuality. Mental health aspect of reproductive health. In 9710, it's also there. Management, treatment, and intervention of mental health problems of women and children. Nakalagay din dito, sa RH Bill, maternal, infant, and child health and nutrition, including breastfeeding. Sa 9710, Republic Act 9710, maternal care to include pre- and postnatal services to address pregnancy and infant health and promotion of breastfeeding. It's also there. Etc., etc. Ito pa isa. Prescription of abortion and management of abortion complications. I think I mentioned this already. Elimination of violence against women. Treatment of breast cancer, infertility, reproductive education, etc., etc. So you can see that the bill is already superfluous. It's not necessary. Pero sabi nila, kailangan daw para ma-strengthen. But if you really want to strengthen an existing law, which is Republic Act 9710, all you need to do is first have an oversight on the way it is being implemented. And second, look at the possibility of providing it more budget. But you don't need to have another law that will be the sweetener that is going to cover the bitter part of the law, which is the acquisition and procurement of billions and billions of pesos worth of contraceptives. Okay, ang parati rin sinasabi nila, alam mo, ang problema ng Pilipinas, overpopulated na tayo. It is an impediment to development, kaya paurong ang development natin, kasi sobra-sobra na ang mga tao natin, kasi overpopulated tayo. Let us look at some statistics on whether overpopulation is indeed an impediment to development and growth. Tingnan ho natin yung mga bansa sa ating paligid. Pag sinabing overpopulated, we are not talking of the absolute population figure. For example, we're saying that 100 million is bigger than 50 million. No. The better indicator is population density. For example, right now in this room, there may be about 200 persons here. 200 in this room is just about right. Hindi ho ba? But if you put all these persons inside the classroom, we are going to be overpopulated. If we put all these persons in the Araneta Coliseum, we are going to be underpopulated. So that is the meaning of population density as an indication of whether a place is overpopulated or not. Philippines. Alam niyo, ang population density ng Pilipinas, based on the figure that I have, is about 266 persons per square kilometer. Sabihin natin, I beg your pardon? It's there? Pakiano mo? Scroll down. Ito. Yung litrato ng mga bata. Maybe I should go there. Pakita mo lang ba? Ito po yung mga litrato ng mga bata. Ito, kinuha ko ng picture na ito doon sa lugar namin, lugar ng mga mahihirap. Kasi parating sinasabi ni Congressman Lagman during the start of our debate na masyado raw maraming mga bata, ito raw nakakagulo sa ekonomiya ng Pilipinas, dapat daw hindi pinanganak yung mga ibang bata. So I showed him this picture. Sabi ko, ito yung mga litrato ng mga bata sa isang mahirap na lugar sa Parañaque, katatapos na ng sunog sa kanilang lugar. Sabi ko sa kanya, Congressman, pwede mo ba ituro mo sa akin kung sino sa kanila hindi dapat pinanganak? Yung bang nakaputi o kaya nakapula? Sabi niya, unfair daw yung question ko. Sabi ko, see, unfair because now we are talking of persons and not just statistics. Pag statistics, medyo madali. Okay, ang tinanong ko ulit sa kanya, ano sa tingin niyo sila? Asset o liability? Again, hindi niya masagot dahil unfair daw yung question ko. But then sabi ko, but then you said that they are an impediment to progress kung masyado marami bata. In other words, you are looking at them as liabilities, but they are assets. Sabi niya, it depends. Well, that is precisely the point, ladies and gentlemen. A person is going to become an asset or liability depending on how you take care of that person. Pasensya na po at gagamit ako ng isang halimbawa. Merong isang anak ng isang napakataas na magistrate. Bumaril ng isang teenager doon sa Forbes Park. Mayaman siya. Tanong, asset ba siya o liability? Di mo ba? Pero yung mga sinasabi ko mga OFWs, na galing sa mga mahirap, asset o liability, depending sa training natin. In fact, the key there is to train them. Instead of the 3 billion pesos that they would like to devote to the procurement of contraceptives and condoms, yung 3 billion na yan, ibigay nyo sa akin, ilalagay ko sa TESDA, and I'm going to convert about 200,000 young men, able-bodied young men and women, and make them assets to the country through training. Alam niyo kung magkano average cost ng training sa TESDA that will make them marketable not only here in the Philippines but worldwide? Only about 11,000 pesos per person. Imagine how many can be trained with 3 billion pesos na gusto nilang gamitin para mapigilan ang panganganak ng 200,000 babies. It can train at least 200,000 able-bodied young men and women, and if this 200,000 young men and women can find work either here or abroad, they can generate a combined income of at least 40 billion pesos. Ang puhunan mo, 3 billion only. Tapos ang income mo, 40 billion that will add to the GDP of the country.
Anak, pagdating ng 15, pinutin mo to for stop. Reproductive. Nakita mo na kami. 15 minutes. Yung 8 pagiging 15. Kung magkita pa natin.
Yeah.